Hey guys, it's Dan here with a new video, and today I'm going to be 3D printing and painting this minifig. So this tabletop figure was designed and posed by my friend Adam Michael Adams. He did it in thanks for me printing him a whole bunch of different things for something that he was going to be doing. And, well, let's just get into it. This video is taking so long to come out because I had to actually spend this entire time cleaning up this whole area. It's just what I decided to do. So I got this all cleaned up. There was a huge pile of junk right there. There's a huge pile of junk back there. But I have all my customs up here now, and I have my 3D printer. This table was filled with stuff. So all this is clean. So now I can go on to actually making this project instead of cleaning every single part of this entire basement. Okay, so we have this designed by my friend Adam, Michael Adams. He posed it and made it look like me, but also he put some stuff to look like Iron Man. So he's got an Iron Man backpack on there. So that's pretty cool. And this is not necessarily made with 3D printing in mind, so there's going to be a bunch of support material. But at 0.1 layers and with the type of support that I'm using, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. All the detail still gets on there. So let's get to printing this thing off. Alright, so we have here the guy printed out. And as you can see, there's lots of support material. One thing to note, with my printer at least, is I've had lots of luck with the concentric. So it does concentric lines to fill in, and it also, when it does this one, it might do it with others, I'm not entirely sure, it does like a small shell of like a mimic of what's underneath it. So it's like really smooth underbodies compared to other infills that I've used, or not infills, but support material that I've used. So I'm going to start with some pliers and some X-Acto blades. Don't cut towards yourself, always cut away from yourself, always make sure. So let's pop off stuff like that, see how it pops off easily. And we can trim up any pieces, but we have plenty of really good detail on this guy. So let's bring out the good of them. So the detail came out really good on this guy. The parts that show the detail are amazing. The parts that had support material might have a little bit of scratching on them, but they didn't have any droops or anything like that. So, like underneath here was all covered with it. Like you can see a little bit of highlights from my knife scraping it, but when you put primer on that, it's gonna look really good. So let's get this primed up and get ready for paint. He looks astounding. We're gonna get to painting him real soon, but the details are amazing on this guy. We're gonna paint it like Iron Man, so we're gonna do some golds and reds, make it some metallic, and then obviously skin and hair. It's gonna be blonde like I am. So let's get to it. From my I don't have any red, but from my old testers that I've had laying around, I have a red and a red. This one says 2732 engine red, and this one is 2724 stoplight red. I've done some tests on this and on this, and this is the engine red, that's a stoplight red on top of gold. So that's opaque and that's translucent, and that's just half and half, so we can see what it looks like next to gold once it's done. Fun fact, in the car industry, I'm pretty sure when they're doing cherry red or apple red or whatever it's called, they do a base coat of gold and then they do a clear-ish or a see-through of red over top. So I'm going to probably just do this because it's going to most likely dry out looking good and be all the colors I want. So I'm going to do a translucent red over gold for the red highlights. I've found that the candy apple red, I said that wrong, I said cherry apple, the candy apple red style painting where we put it over the gold with the slightly transparent red is going to work. So I'm going to choose different panels and stuff and start painting. So let's start with this backpack and get into it. We're going to do the whole backpack first, and then we can add color to it later. looks really good on this guy. I'm gonna let that dry and then do some other colors. So let's do some browns and blacks and stuff and silvers. But it really gets a good shine on this, the red on gold. I think I'm going to start with some black on the straps to hold everything on. And maybe the boots are gonna be black too. So let's get on doing that. We have the black straps done and the gun done. I'm going to do some silver on some panels, so let's get to that. Put some silver panels on highlights on, so his boot buckles, some different things, and then his chest plate is silver, so it all looks really good. Next we're gonna let this dry and then go on to like some browns and greens and different things like that. I have some light brown here. I'm gonna use it on some of the arrow shafts in this, I'm pretty sure. I did like a, not really a dry brushing, but sort of a dry brushing on the bow to make it look more bronzish. The belt and the gun holster I made brown, and the arrow sticks I made brown. Why not? Let's do some white for the arrow fletchings. And since that's a crossbow, these are actually bolts, not arrows, so. We're not going to let that dry. We're going to go straight into the next part. So usually with outfits, boots aren't made out of metal. So I'm going to use the other red to paint the boots, and that's going to hopefully do a nice matching where it looks like a different material but it's the same color, you know? I got his boots done in the red, and it's a different red. You can sort of tell on camera, and it looks more like red leather boots instead of red metal boots, which is what I'm going for. We're going to do the thing that's holding the bolts or the arrows right there, and we're maybe doing a flat aluminum, I'm pretty sure. So let's get going. We got the thing holding the arrows, bolts or whatever you want to call them, and I decided that I wanted to do the belt buckle too because I forgot about that. So once this dries, we're going to do some washes, and then we're going to do the skin and hair. For our weathering, we're going to take some black shoe polish, put it in this little dish, pour some water in there and get a brush and brush it on, and then brush off with another brush, and okie dokie. And this is going to be like an acrylic wash of sorts, you know. It's not acrylic, but you get the idea. Oh, here goes nothing. So we got a nice weathering pass. It just added some highlights to the lines, or, well, I mean, visual highlights, but it's more of a low light. And I did a dark green. Well, I did a green and then a weathering pass on the base. It's a lot more green in person, but yep. Now we're going to do skin and hair. Yay, we got the skin on there. I'm going to use some gold, I think, to dry brush the hair. And then I'm going to do the eyes, maybe the lips. If we need weathering to make it look realistic, we'll do that. Oh man, so this guy looks amazing. He looks a little bit like Thor wearing Iron Man armor back in like slightly medievalish times. It's so good. So I really appreciate that he made this for me, and I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me paint him and print him out and tell you about and all that stuff. This isn't like supported by Patreon or anything, it was just a gift, but if you want to really support me, you can subscribe to this channel, because subscribing really helps out. Less than like 1% of you guys are watching these videos are subscribed, so like 99% of you guys aren't subscribed. If you just subscribe, it's free, doesn't do anything to you, but it makes it so that my channel has a chance to actually grow and actually do something other than just like continually staying under 1,000 people. So we also have Patreon, where if you really want to support me, those types of things, those people like Henry Creations, who's on the top of that list, and all the other people on that list, they do all this stuff where they throw money at me, and then it makes it easier for me to make these videos. So that helps as well. If you don't want to do any of those things, then you can look over here and see some videos that I have where I'm making, or maybe doing parkour or something. Or you can click on any of these links over here if you do want to do that. So that's my subscribe and my Patreon. So we'll see you in the next video.